Well, we just learned the Trump administration will start accepting bids for work on the president's border wall next month. That's right. Customs and Border Protection says it plans to start awarding contracts in April. President Trump earlier today said the wall is ahead of schedule during his speech to CPAC. And President Trump today also denouncing harmful government leaks on Twitter. It turns out not even memos warning about leaks are safe from leaks. State Department recently prepared a 4-page memo warning of the dangers of leaking sensitive information, and that memo promptly leaked to the Washington Post. Joining me now, co-host of The Five, Kimberly Guilfoyle. And Kimberly, put your former prosecutor hat on. How do you do this? How do you find them?
You know, this shouldn't be as difficult as people might think, and then you'll slowly start to see certain people, removed from the building and their security clearances closed off and shut down, because you can't have these kind of leaks at that high level. You really can't. And it's very disturbing. But there's only a certain number of people, and in the pool in terms of that have access to that kind of information. So you just have to go through process of elimination.
You think so, but I mean, I've got this. I wouldn't use the company phone. Let me put it that way. I would call the Washington Post and hello.
No, I hear you.
And so can you get access to my phone?
But well. Listen, if we're both working in the White House and we have access to certain top secret or confidential information, there's only certain people that are allowed to have that. So by process elimination, you go through, and then sometimes they get crafty, and what they do is put out some disinformation and see where it goes. You see, like, okay, if I tell you something and then I tell Lou Dobbs something else, and then I see who it gets out to, and all of a sudden I see it in Politico or something, I'm like, aha, yes, judge, jury, and executioner. So, but they have to take this seriously, because this is really unacceptable, especially as it relates to matters of national security and intelligence. And, you need them all working on the same team. You cannot have leaks, so they're going to have to deal with this very strongly, aggressively from the beginning. Well, it just depends. I mean, at a certain level, I mean, this could be very serious. You could be put in prison for it if it's national security secrets or information. You can't do this type of thing. So that's why you see people in the intelligence community that have worked there before talking about it, going on the record saying this is pretty outrageous, and lots of information about who perhaps it could be behind it. Is it former Obama administration officials? Is it even people, within the own party that perhaps don't want to see the president succeed? So you've definitely got quite a cast of characters to go over to figure out who's the bad guy. Let's
switch a little bit out of Washington and up to Chicago, where you're a former crime fighter.
Yes.
And Wednesday, there were 7 people shot and killed in Chicago. Deadliest day of the year. 21st time in the past 16 years that Chicago has had that many homicides a single day. It's getting worse in Chicago. Do you have a sense that anybody is doing anything?
No, I really don't, because if they were doing something, you would see these numbers go in the reverse order, and you'd see a de-escalation in the violence and in the fatalities and homicides. And too often we see, especially in Chicago, children are the victims of these gang-related shootings. And really, it is just an absence, a dearth of leadership in Chicago, with Rahm Emanuel. What is he doing to stop the bloodshed and really to do the right thing about public safety?
They sent an army of FBI agents into Ferguson, Missouri. Does that help to go in and say, hey, we're an outside police agency. You guys and gals aren't doing it right?
Listen, the president has said if he's not going to get it done there, then maybe we have to take matters into our own hands. I think it's that
Does he have that authority?
Yeah, absolutely. The president does have the authority. He can go ahead with National Guard, etc. I mean, it'd be quite contentious, because I'm sure Rahm Emanuel would not welcome that. He's made some comments that suggest it. But I know, as a former prosecutor, if you do not have a police department and a mayor's office walking in lockstep in terms of what should be happening in that city, like stop and frisk, things that actually are legal and do work, you're not going to be able to get the guns off the street from the criminals and make sure and protect these communities. So a lot more can be done. It should be done. And he hasn't come up with any good ideas, because the numbers bear that out.
Kimberly Guilfoyle, you can catch her. She works here. She just lives here.
Lives here.
You can catch her guest hosting the Hannity Show tonight, 10 o'clock over on the Fox News channel. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you.